Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honors to your apostles and elders at Great Millstone. This is Ainaya Allah with the beloved truth. All right, today's lesson is I'm gonna call it with stammering lips, okay? Because a lot of these guys out here don't have a clue. All right, they don't understand in detail or fully spiritually discern what's actually going down. You know what's taking place as far as out here when we go out there and do the work, the spirit that's behind it. You know, you got a lot of guys more focused on bringing, uh, you know, bringing Great Millstone down rather than the so-called white man. You know, they want to expose, us rather than the so-called white man who's getting away with, well, he's not getting away with anything, but he's um he's just got a lot of shit that needs to be, you know, exposed. The scriptures speak on him being revealed in his time. You know, and you got those certain men that's doing that, And to be honest, I believe most of these guys are just scared of the so-called white man. They don't want to say anything about it. But whenever, you know, whenever Jake, a so-called Negro, Black, Latin, and Native American, um, whenever we, you know, start to build something, you always got another one of us there to try to tear it down, you know, which is only part of the curses. But just go back into the lesson. All right. So it says, "For with stammering lips and another tongue, will he speak to this people." Okay. And you brothers know, you know the scripture. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk, verse 9, and drawn from the breast. Okay. Meaning them of age, basically, spiritually. It says, "For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little." Okay, what you got is guys is using their own precepts as far as their own perception. You know, as the scriptures say, precepts of men. You know, it's talking about their own righteousness. All right, but the men of the Lord are doing the work as they were told. And you got those guys that's out there. They're not even doing a uh, partial work of the Most High's word, man. As a matter of fact, it's the parable of, I believe, the king, and I think it goes like the gift. He gave each person a gift, and when he came back, you had some that increased, and you had some that didn't even, they went to go bury their gift, to basically do something else. And that's what you see examples of, you know. So, but those guys, man, it's kind of not crazy, but it's kind of dire, or how can I say, it's kind of it's more of it's more appalling to see them throw away their gift, the gift that was given them. So I'm gonna go with, for stammering lips will he speak. So with mocking lips, all right, the Hebrew word uh, la'ig, la'ig, all right. So I read the scripture and I go back to that word. It says, "For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to to this people." Okay, and this is now, it's being fulfilled now. So with a mocking tongue, all All right, mocking what? This world. All right, the way of the world, this whole mentality, the image of the world that persists now. All right, and that exists now. Okay, so the prophets are set up what to bring this place down by mocking. All right, you see, as it says, as a buffoon, also a foreigner, mocker, stammering. All right. So what we're here to do in within confines, we condemn the society, we condemn the way it thinks, the ideals it has, whether it be street knowledge, whether it be philosophy on a higher level, you know, or a higher intellectual level. That's what we're set up to mock against it. Okay, and people don't understand that very concept. They overlook that, or they just don't understand it. Period. They don't understand what's really going on. All right. So I go into, it says to mock, deride, ridicule, to mock, deride, have in derision. All right. To mock, deride, to stammer. Okay. Have in derision. So let's go into the word stammer. All right. See, here we go. So another word for stammer is to stutter, stumble over one's words, hesitate, falter, pause, halt, splutter. You see? So, and when guys slip up, you got other guys that use that as an advantage to discrediting or to making us look dumb. But the scriptures say we're gonna be prophesying like that. So for a guy to scoff against you know brothers stumbling, he's going against what the Most High, the prophecy that the Most High set us up to do. You know, and and I'm talking about certain specific situations, but overall, for edification's sake, I'm talking about all situations that fall into the same category where we're being critiqued on how we speak and what we're saying. Um, hey, everything we're doing is by way of prophecy. You got guys trying to you know piggyback off of that, trying to come up you know what we call basically coattailing. You know, trying to make themselves relevant. You know, but so this is Sirach, all right, 13 and 21. Oh, here we go. 20. This is a good one. It says, "As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor." All right, and you got guys that came in our camp, Yashal in Milwaukee. I really honestly have a feeling that they hated us. They didn't like us from the get. I honestly believe that they looked at us like we were a piece of shit from the beginning. You know, as I you know see all the things that's taking place. Um, but as you go, as I ponder, meditate on it, you know, as I unravel, the really what was really going on. I believe those guys really hated us because they have, I guess, um, they were older. Their lives was set. They had everything possible, probably that they needed, jobs, so on and so forth. When they were in the camp. I mean, so did we. We had jobs. That pretty much that was it. Didn't really have cars like that. We shared a car. You know, we pretty much struggled for the most part. But that's part of That's part of this knowledge. When you enter into truth, I mean, that's part of life, period, because we're not put in our kingdom. So, verse 21, it says, a rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends, you know? And that's how I feel, not just Yasha out of Milwaukee, but a lot of these guys who's scoffers, they do the same thing, you know? They do the same thing. It says, which a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him, and that goes into Yakanan, you know. And Rob made a statement about the Chicago brothers, stuff that we ironed out with them. See, unlike him, he's on the outside looking in. So they don't understand what's really going on. All they got is they got their little information and they tell bearing, you know. So really, they just bringing things back up that was already ironed out, you know. So what does that do? Until it brings in confusion, you know. So, and like I said, I'm not the one that I don't need to call nobody no name. I'll do it to their face. And hey, like I said, man, you got these guys that fulfill these scriptures, man. They're being justified, you know. They're rich men. How, man? You see them always boasting in everything they got. They all they do is boast. The scriptures talk about, you know, heady-minded boasters shall come in the end times, man. You know, but it says, and yet men justify them. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. See, so Yakanan, oh well, Yak, leader of our camp. What happened is that he slipped. He slipped, not being, just like every one of us slip, you know, and his situation was dealt with, you know, in the matter that it was pretty harsh on him. We really brought the hammer down on him, but he stayed. He was he mourned, uh, you know, he got his mind right, you know, because we were going through a lot of things with a certain situation, but he slipped. But the scripture says, and yet they rebuke him too. He spake wisely and could have no place. You see, and that's how they treat him. The scriptures talk about previous wolves coming in, not sparing the flock. And those guys, they didn't they don't spare the flock, man. They don't spare it. Even though the scriptures say a righteous man falleth 7 times and get up. They overlook scriptures like that because they don't have the discernment of judgment. They're just scoffers, man. Who's coattailing, who's trying to come up off of, us. And everything they're doing is in vain. Everything they're doing is for 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 the sight of men, for men to see. You know, it ain't for edification. Believe me, you is not. All right. It's always that intention, that ulterior motive that they start with. Deep down, it don't show itself. But it's there. It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Riches are good unto him. See, and that's key because that's what they do. Whenever we slip with the tongue, they try to help overthrow us, man. It says, riches are good unto him that hath no sin, and poverty is evil in the mouth of the ungodly. All right. So let me go to Revelations. All right. Galatians chapter 2, verses 9. And it reads, it says, I know that works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Okay. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. And really, this was talking about our people, but we use it against Esau because they fit the shoes of trying to be Jews. But you had, in the ancient world, you had our people who were in the high seats, who were the leaders, who were looked at as highly esteemed in our communities, all right, in our culture, all right, before we fell away, you know, that's what it's talking about primarily. It says, I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. All right. Poverty of what? Let's go into the word. Beggary, the condition of one destitute of riches and abundance. As you can see, Yasha Allah Milwaukee, they don't have destitute of riches and abundance because you hear how they boast. The scriptures speak on them, the men boasting in the end times and being lovers of themselves, you know. So our poverty, it says, I know that works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Rich in what? Rich in faith. Okay. And I'll get that scripture. Wealthy abounding in, well, that's not, is metaphorically abounding, abundantly supplied, abundant, abunding, rich in what it said, Christian values, virtues, and internal possession. But mainly it's talking about faith. Okay. But the whole point being is metaphorically abounding in what? Rich in faith. I'm going to get that scripture. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And that's who these guys fall up under the vibration of. You got the ones that's on the left hand side that's doing it, that claim they're doing the work of the Lord and call upon the name of the Lord. And then you got the ones that's on the right hand side actually doing what the Lord told us to do. Revealing the so-called white man, prophesying on the downfall of America, warning our people and getting them ready for the hour of temptation. These guys are doing a complete opposite. They actually trying to pull the foundation on which the Most High, Yahweh Shai is set up. Okay, so they're the synagogue of Satan, right? So let me see. Oh, the Lord chose the rich in faith, and that's what this is. The whole belief set, this whole doctrine is faith. It's faith based. You know, that's here we go. James 2:5. It says, "Hearken, my beloved brother, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which He hath promised to them that love Him?" All right, so abundant in faith, the poor of the world. We are the poor, man. You know, some brothers are poor, poor in spirit, and that's really, you know, that's really the deal right there, man. Poor in spirit, um, you know, and poor materially, you know. But that's beside the point. The material is, that's vain. The Lord give it to us, or give it to whom He see fit, because it sustains us, you know, and that's the Lord showing favor. And the Most High is like that because He chooses who He wanted, favor, you know. Um, verse 6, it says, "But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats?" You see, so the so-called white man is ultimately he's the highest rich man. All right, and you got our people who despise the poor, you know, who despise the ones that's the stammering ones of us, who's doing the work of the Lord. All right, and who can care less about these things in the world. who choose the Yahweh Shai over their families, you know, not totally disregarding them. Because, needless to say, we got brothers that take care of their families. I'm talking about way better than these niggas in the world, you know, and we have testament to that, you know. But the point being, they have despised the poor, man. You know, they have despised us. You know, yeah, yeah. What we say sometimes, brother, be saying, talking out the side of his mouth, but in actuality, he's justified through the Spirit, and that's one thing that they won't get because they still attached to the world. They are still attached to westernized philosophy. You know, yeah, a lot of brothers have character flaws. We're not perfect. The scriptures speak on that, but at the same time, this truth helps us and molds us to be better men. Period. Verse 7, it says, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called? If you fulfill the royal law, according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, you do well. You know, and a lot of these guys are screaming that they've been wrong. Really, they supposed to run to Yahweh Shai. Yeah, you go to your brother, but also you're supposed to pray to Yahweh about Shem Yahweh Shai and ask him to straighten, iron things out because that's what he does, man. He's peace. You know, the scriptures speak on those. Matthew, man. Um, you know what, I get it. Matthew chapter 7 is one of my favorite scriptures. Chapter 7. Oh, slack. 5. Matthew 5 and 1. You know. Well, I'll start. Let me see. I'll go straight to the point. It says, verse 9. It says Matthew 5 and 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. You know. And a lot of brothers, really, we try to make peace. You know. But the thing is, our culture stems from rebuke, reproof, especially if you're going off, in the doctrine or anything, you know, in the doctrine, the Most High set us up to be that way towards one another because we always keep each other in line, you know. So I'm gonna read one more scripture because this is a good topic, you know. This is a good topic, man. You got guys that don't know mercy. They don't know mercy, you know. They see somebody, they they see somebody in GMS stumble and fall. And then, oh, there you go, and all of them get together so they can overthrow us. Not say, well, look, brother, and you know what? Not even that, because they can reproof, they can rebuke, but they do it out of season. They do it. They do it only because of they want other men to see that um, we're going off. But all the situations that that resurface among their circles have been already dealt with. And that's the key thing. That's why they're so wrong. You know, they're so wrong. Um, and all the way stemming back from Apostle Ricard with the jacket situation. There's no law in the scriptures say you can't wear a biker jacket. You know, so hey man, there you go. Them being over righteous and not knowing mercy. Because we're gonna get the mercies of David, man. We're gonna get the mercies of David. You know, we David went off. Um, he did some sins worthy of death. He rebellion. Um, he tried to count Israel. I think that's one of them, the big ones. Uh, Adultery, and I don't remember the other one. But he committed sins worthy of death, but the Most High gave him mercy, you know. And so shall we receive mercy, Lord willing. Proverbs 14:20, it says, the poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. Rich in what? Once again, it goes back to them being in the world, part of the world, and us condemning the world and forgetting the world and wanting the kingdom of heaven. I truly, honestly believe that these scoffers, they don't believe in the kingdom of heaven. I honestly believe that. I believe that they believe America is their kingdom, is their home forever, you know. And that's just my thoughts. Hey, and this has been another one with Anaya Allah, the beloved truth. I want to say shalom to you brothers out there that hold mercy and peace. Hey man, doing what we're supposed to be doing, like the Lord told us to do. Regardless, man, we're not ashamed of the doctrine. It's the reason why the Most High, Yahweh Shai said that, blessed he is that is not offended in me. All right. So with that, I give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom.